Hey folks, welcome to Moonshift Audio. In this video I'm going to show you a neat trick to make more room for your vocal when you want a really nice amount of reverb on there. Before we get stuck in, I just want to introduce myself quickly. I'm Jack, I'm a UK based music producer and mix engineer. I put out a video like this every week, so please do like and subscribe. If you're working on your mixing and you're learning here on YouTube, you might be interested in my Mix Exploder service, where I give your track a professional mix here in my studio, then I send you a 30-minute personalised video where I go into every detail of how I got you that sound, so you can see exactly what you need to take your mixes to the next level. There's a link to the Mix Exploder down below, but for now let's jump into Cubase and take a look at this little trick. Okay, so here we are in Cubase, but it's worth noting that there's absolutely nothing in this tutorial that you couldn't do in pretty much any other software. I've got a vocal loop and a drum loop off Splice and a very simple restyle bass that I've made in Serum. I was in the mood for a bit of garage today, so we're in a kind of UK garage kind of style. Here's what we got.
So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
Okay, you can hear that that vocal is obviously incredibly dry, which is exactly what we want as a starting point. So let's have a look at the reverb. First up on the reverb return, I've got a Pro Q3 and I'm just using that to do the classic Abbey Road reverb trick where I'm using a low shelf to pull down everything below about 100 Hertz, really as far as it will go, like neg 30 dBs on that, and a similar everything above about 10k, and that just helps to stop those sizzly, sibilant frequencies and the subby frequencies that might be present in that vocal from getting into reverb tail and clouding up the mix. Following on from the EQ, I've got a Valhalla Vintage Verb. This is literally the initial preset, which is actually pretty decent. I've pulled the decay time down to like 1.7 seconds, which is a nice amount for a big vocal reverb. Let's hear it.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to be using a lot of reverb. I've deliberately made this a very sparse arrangement with a lot of space for a big vocal verb because I can really demonstrate what we're doing here. But this is a good way to get a little bit of extra space in your mix, even if the vocal reverb that you're using isn't as extreme as this one. I'm going to solo the vocal. And what I'm going to do is I've got a stock compressor. You could use literally any compressor that's got a sidechain input for this. And remember, this is on the reverb. So the reverb itself is getting compressed with the sidechain active, and the vocal send, I'm sending to the reverb itself and also to that sidechain on the compressor. So we should see that when the vocal's present, the reverb is ducked. Let's have a listen.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
In terms of attack times, I've left this at 1 millisecond attack, so it's fairly snappy. And the release I pulled back, I think it started at about half a second. I've just pulled that back to about 1/4 of a second. It's actually a little bit pumpy. Like, you might want to play around with the release if you're going for a more natural and subtle effect on this. But because this is quite a rhythmic vocal and I'm playing around with this almost as much as an effect as a mix trick, I quite like the way that this allows the reverb tail to noticeably bloom at the end of the phrases. Let's hear it in the mix.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
And if I bypass that compressor,
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
you can hear how that reverb is kind of swamping the vocal.
Like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
I'll bypass the compressor.
Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
It's just a neat trick because, of course, the vocal reverb is always going to have a very similar frequency content to the vocal itself. And if it's a decent length tail, it's always going to be present behind the vocal. So it's going to want to hog up that same kind of space in the frequency spectrum. So why not duck it out of the way? Just to demonstrate another way of using this, I'm going to pull the same trick with a vocal delay. Okay, so here we go. I've got good old Echo Boy Jr. I have not changed the stock patch. This is exactly how it comes. It's set to wide. I've rolled off a little bit of the lows. The echo time I've left at 1/8. And I've put the mix on full because this is obviously an auxiliary. I'll keep the compressor bypass for now, and we'll just hear the vocal with the delay.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it...
Now, it's a lovely way of thickening up the vocal and adding a bit of width, but it can be a bit distracting, those echoes. They're not super diffuse, and particularly things like the sibilants, when the echoes are behind the main vocal, it's a bit distracting. Now, you could look at putting a de-esser on the delay return before the delay. You could use quite extreme settings there to remove all sibilants, but another way of doing this is exactly like we did with the reverb. We'll put a compressor after the delay, so this is just the delayed signal, the wet signal that's being compressed, and we'll make sure that that is being sidechained from the vocal itself. And if we play that, let's just pull up the compressor, we should see...
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my...
You just hear that delay is getting out the way when the vocal is present. As one little extra trick, I am sending some of the delay to the reverb. So the delayed signal is actually wet with reverb as well, which helps to kind of diffuse it, send it backwards in the mix, and gives the whole thing a really nice sense of depth. So I'm just going to turn off the vocal reverb, so we're only now hearing the delay. There's no reverb, but I'll activate the reverb on the delay. So this is just delay.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
Okay, and here's the delayed reverb.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
Just softens that delay, gives it even more space. Now we'll bring in the reverb as well.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
Now obviously that is a very wet vocal now, and that wouldn't be appropriate for all mixes, but I'm quite liking it here. Let's hear it in context.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away.
And I'll turn off those compressors.
Light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my
Just adds
head, take it all away.
a real interesting dynamic to the vocal there, and a bit more space to it. And there you have it. That's my trick for using a sidechain compressor to just carve a little bit of space out from your vocal send effects. I'll let this little jam play out.
Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Ooh, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Ooh, let it burn, let it burn. Hey.
Okay folks, thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please do like and subscribe for more tips, tricks, resources and downloads from me at Moonshift Audio. Until next time.